Hi everyone, this is Jessica with Whispers of Grace Healing. I hope my internet connection will stay good for a little while so we can get these messages out. But if not, I will have to go back and record and upload later, so we'll see. But if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And if you are my Vibe Tribe, you know I love you something serious. Hey, Kelly. So there's been this theme that keeps kind of coming up about self-confidence, right? And you know me, I like to play on certain belief systems and thought patterns and all this kind of stuff to kind of really break down everything. Well, I know. Um, oh, hey, Tanya. Oh, Danny, I hope everything's okay. Sending you a whole bunch of love. Hey, Jenny, Ellie, good morning, good morning. So, yeah, everyone send good vibes to Brooke and Danny. I'll check in with y'all later. Oh, no. All right, well, I'll send y'all some Reiki after I get done. Yeah, I'll check in with y'all in a little bit. I hope everything's okay. So, with that being said, if y'all resonate with these videos or my energy, make sure to like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know how you resonate, because this is actually something that I want to start a class on later. I'm still in the works of trying to put it all together and really channeling what needs to be done in order to be vulnerable with self, be vulnerable with tribe, and like really get to the root of the issues of why we feel certain things and what is being harbored that is creating resistance in our ascension, right? So if that is something that you would be interested in, I'm still trying to figure out if I want to do smaller classes or longer classes, because what I'm thinking is going to be about a 4-week course, so it's a lot. But it does come with homework. It comes with the internal work. It comes with group work. So yeah, guys, let me know if that's something you would be interested in order to get more in touch with self and gain that confidence and that power back over your life, because it's something that I feel really compelled to do. But like I said, I'm still trying to work out the kinks. So, hey, Christina Maria, how are you doing? April, good morning. Christina G, good morning. Elizabeth, hey guys, love you all so much. So how I'm going to be going about this, and just before I dive in too deep, don't forget in March, it's March 21st, I believe. All the information is down below in the description box, but I will be in Burbank, California with Ramblin Mike in March. If you would like to join us for the Tarot Expo, all the information is down below if you would like to join us for that. And it's going to be an exciting time. Never been to the West Coast before, so there's a lot of firsts that are happening for me. And also, I am in the works of holding a retreat in April, but before I put too much information out there, I'm still, again, working out the kinks. But if you would be interested in joining us in April, late April, for a retreat, the theme is igniting the soul. So if that is something that you would be interested in, I'm going ahead and kind of putting my feelers out there to see how many people would be interested in joining us for that. It will be all inclusive, so it will be a little bit higher in price range, but I'm trying to get enough people to make sure that it is, a decent amount for everyone to be able to enjoy us and really get to connect. That's my whole theme, right? So, hey, Colby. Good morning, everyone. Yes. So, okay, guys, confidence. Listen, confidence has been coming up a lot in different areas. And this is kind of why I want to hold this class, because if we really think about it, there's a lot of things, especially in the ascension process, where we feel like we are gaining more power, more confidence, more tenacity about our journey and what we want to experience out of our life versus staying in the old storyline of our past and our traumas, right? So, but yeah, guys, it's one of those things where I feel like a lot of the fear that we've been having around certain areas of our life does come from that lack of confidence and step up, moving forward, to speak up and do what we feel compelled to do. Then we start kind of doubting ourselves, pulling back, not really sure how to proceed, right? And it's one of those moments where I'm a I'm one of those people. I feel like having that awareness about self helps us process and transmute that energy easier, right? So what I want to focus on today is 3 areas of our life, okay, which there's a lot of different areas. If I do this class and do a 4-week course, I want to go through each of the chakra systems and what they're associated with and really get deep into what our belief pattern about it is currently and how we want to change that, right? So it's going to be healing. And also with that course, I'm also going to be offering like a one-on-one session with each person who signs up. So if that is something you're interested in doing, please email me and let me know if that is something that you would consider doing. Because I want to make sure that I have enough people to make it worth it. So with that, what we're going to be focusing on today are our careers, okay, mission work, our purpose, right? We're also going to be focusing on love life and relationship with self. So career, mission, love life, and relationship with self. So we're going to start with the career and mission first. What I'm going to do is I'm just kind of winging it and letting them do their thing, but we have the past life cards because I want to see what past experience or circumstance is affecting the way that you are currently perceiving your mission or career. Okay. So, Spirit, can you please help me with the collective energy of what past experience or event is? I'm like getting choked up. Like I don't even know what to say. So, but this is going to be one of the past experiences, whether this life or before. It could be anything in your life that is possibly. Remember, these are general readings, so please take what applies and leave what doesn't, okay? So when it comes to purpose or mission and career, what is the past experience that is blocking them from having a clear outlet, please? Okay. There's a couple more in here. Let's get a nice clear picture for those who are struggling with their mission, their purpose, and or career. Okay. Okay, so we do have finances on the bottom here. We have scribe or writer, Atlantis, communal living, food and hunger, knighthood, farm, and persecution and inquisition. So, what this kind of tells me is that, and I'm going to just kind of pick up on all the messages that I'm receiving. Okay. So, first off, with the scribe or writer. So some of you may have had a way with words, right? Some of you might, like Ellie and Dewey and Kara, doing the blog, doing the the entries of their vulnerable moments. Some of you might even think about writing a book or whatever the case may be. There's also this sense, so there's quite a few of you that feel like I want to share my story, but there's also this self-confidence, a lack of self-confidence when it comes to, well, what difference is my story going to make? Your story is going to help inspire others and also make other people realize that through the experiences you have been through, that they're not alone, right? There's so many experiences that we go through when we feel like we are completely alone, gonna understand and all these things, and you suffer in silence and all this shit starts coming up. There are other people suffering the same exact way. So by you sharing your story and putting yourself up there, you're going to realize just how many people you can connect with through these past hurts, and also help uplift each other to heal those wounds, to have a clearer picture of why certain people treated you a certain way, or why the experience was so painful for you, and having that support within a community, right? Especially with communal living. A lot of you could be afraid of doing things on your own, or feeling like starting up your own business is just too daunting. Are you going to go hungry because you're so worried about the finances and stuff like that? A lot of you are scared to step out into your own way of doing things because, listen, a lot of you are very, very old souls. Okay. There's a lot of past information that is encoded in your DNA about brilliant ideas, or very inspiring ways of doing things, or just having this way of processing information that comes from this deep-seated ancestral knowledge. So it's like all this information is coming up, and it's like, oh, that would be a good idea. Maybe you're meant to create something. Maybe you're meant to have a patent on something. Maybe you're meant to, touch people with your words, or, really help other people connect to something when they feel like they don't have anything to connect to. You could also have grown up very poor, or known what it's like to not have enough food on the table or enough money for your prescriptions. And you have to go through this phase of, well, is it food or prescriptions this week? Those kind of things. But you also understand how much work and effort it takes, because I feel like a lot of you are very hard workers, and you've probably worked for really hard for a lot of people who took you for granted, and maybe even felt like you were being persecuted or judged or ridiculed within your workplace. And some of you are now getting that pull to either start up a new company, go out on your own, or just like start putting in the hard work into something you feel inspired towards. And listen, when you follow your heart, you can't make a wrong decision, right? But it's also about standing up for what you believe in, and instead of going into a career that has nothing to do with what you're interested in or inspired by. So just so you can get food on the table, right? But there's this sense of inspiration that is flowing through the collective right now, of new ideas and ways to broaden your horizons, when you realize that there are truly limitless opportunities for you to move forward into your mission. You're going to understand that once you align with the thought that, yes, I can do this. Yes, this is meant for me. Yes, I can make a difference, right? Then you're going to start attracting the people, places, and things that are going to help support that that purpose, that mission, that career, but it is going to take hard work. It's like there's some things where you might even start thinking about these things from sun up to sundown. And it's like, but what does all this mean? Spirit just wants you to start taking the small steps, right? Because we're so used to living in a certain way that letting go of that belief system and that core life that we have been, holding on to for so long, and then just trying to transition into a whole nother way of being can seem really scary and really daunting. But they're asking you, just start taking the baby steps, guys. You don't have to always take a quantum leap unless you're really ready to, but sometimes you do have to dive in with both feet head first, whatever. But sometimes they just want us to believe in ourselves, to start looking into those classes, looking into, businesses that have already started that are aligned with what you're wanting to do. To talk to people about it, talk about what you're inspired by, and have the confidence to move forward regardless of what stands in your way. So a lot of you have probably spoke about your ideas and been shut down and not really supported about your, creativity or whatever the case may be. Like, I used to be told, oh, well, artists don't make a living. You can never be an artist and survive. Like, that's a limiting belief. There's plenty of artists out here. Yes, some of them struggle, but a lot of them make something for themselves. Well, I might not paint all the time, but I'm doing my art in a different way, right? So it's all about your perception, belief in yourself, and how you choose to move forward, and not letting these things get in the way. But your word needs to be heard. Okay. Your writing needs to be shared. Your voice and your inspirations need to be talked about, right? Like, so some of you might have communication issues or just a confidence in saying what you're feeling compelled to do. But with the Ace of Swords coming out, this is telling you, you already have a clear idea, guys. You already have at least an inkling of what it is that you want to do with your life. It's those mental thought patterns that are keeping you trapped. It's an illusion. It's these old belief systems like, oh, well, if I do this, I'm not going to be able to survive, or it's too much work, or it's not going to be supported. How many times have you heard that in your life? How many times have you told yourself that in your life, right? And yet we always feel like there's something lacking because we're not pushing forward with what we truly believe in, right? We're letting external sources dictate what is right for us and what is wrong. So it's about moving outside of your comfort zone, not waiting for someone to give you the green light, not waiting for someone to say, yes, honey, that's a great idea. Because listen, not 100% of the people are going to agree with you, and that's perfectly fine. But when you believe in something and you start talking about it and you start sharing it, you are going to be aligned with people who have the same mission or the same thought process as you, and they're going to support you, right? When you live in your truth, you will find the people that are going to help you take this to a whole nother level, especially with the Ace of Cups. All you got to do is follow your heart. Like, even with the whole confidence, right? Like, how many, and I know, like, my whole life, I have been hunched over, head down, looking at the ground. When I walk down the street, I didn't have confidence to, hold my head up or look people in the face, or, even to say hello. Like, I mean, I was scared for a portion of my life to even be out in a normal existence. And now people look at my confidence as something that's intimidating. But why? Right? Confidence shouldn't be intimidating. It's something that we carry that says, I know who I am, I know what I want, and That's just what it is, right? I know myself. And we should all strive to be that way, not in a cocky manner, like, oh, I'm above everyone or anyone. It's just saying, I simply know who I am. And that's fine. That's great. We should all be there and have enough connection with our heart space to know what feels good and what doesn't. And if it doesn't feel good, then we don't chase it. We don't force it. We don't manipulate it. We simply say that is not in a vibrational alignment with my higher good. So I'm going to move in a different direction that feels right for me. Okay. So, yeah. So set your heart free, people, okay? Because there's a lot of opportunities for you to gain that courage to move forward, to create stability in your life, to feel free in your own energy and let the sun come out. This isn't a time to sit and contemplate anymore about your, you know, the way that you move forward within your mission or career. They're telling you, if you know what you want, start taking the necessary steps. Don't hold back anymore, because there are great things that are coming for you. And it's like, there's this self-deception about this pain, like, I'm going to be hurt, I'm going to be let down, I'm going to be a failure. Like, all these things are coming up, and spirit is cutting all these belief systems. They're testing these belief systems because they know it's not in a vibrational alignment with your soul, right? And they're telling you, just look at the emotions that you feel when it comes to what you have in mind for your purpose and your mission, no matter what that is, right? Whatever career move you need to make, whatever you want to create in your life to be of service or to be of inspiration, just like really look at these emotions. Take the lid off that cup, right? That self-love, your heart space. Take that lid off and examine what is causing you to feel that way, right? To see your emotions for what they truly are. And are they really your feelings? Are they really your belief systems? Or are they stemming from someone or something that made you feel that way when you were younger? Or at some point in your life where you felt that you couldn't do what you felt inspired to do in fear of failure, right? And some people are even fearful of success because they have lived in lack mentality so much. They're scared that if they actually get everything that they want or they need, then it's all going to be taken away from them, right? So then they have this fear of success as well. So challenge those thoughts, challenge your perception, process each emotion that comes up when you think about your mission, when you think about your career or what you're meant to do in this life, and process that pain so that you can transmute it back into freedom. Okay? So, what's the big lesson in all of this for those who are feeling a lack of self-confidence within their career and mission? Seek the lesson. Okay. So let's see what they have to say to you. And, you know, especially with the wolf clan, man, like the wolf is all about the pack, right? So 35. So, wisdom is born from seeking the lesson in all experiences, both the good and bad. It is born from the awareness that everything is connected and that all happens for a reason, even when the reason remains a mystery. Embrace a new idea, new awareness, or the new knowledge that comes from listening to your internal voice and to the human and non-human teachers and messengers who will come in and out of your life. Let them inspire you to explore unknown pathways. There are a lot of opportunities that are opening up for y'all, and it's just about believing and trusting. Like, if you're hitting so much resistance, you might need to shift a little bit and go in a slightly different route. So what would you like to remind them? Okay. So we have the diamond-hearted Dakini. I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free, my friends. So face those ego beliefs to feel free in the essence of all Buddhas. I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. And I was actually picking up on this liberation when I started meditating on this energy. So, okay, they want me to read her. So, 117. Okay. So, no matter what has happened recently or in the past, she reminds us that we possess the fierce wisdom suffering into deep lessons that free us and bring us more joy. She's the call to wake up if we've fallen into that old myth that something or someone outside of us is going to save us. She's here to make it loud and clear that what is within us will save us. We can take this moment right here, right now, to turn everything sacred. Her energy is sharp, intense, and uncompromising. She will not let you remain in an illusion or a disempowering story about who you really are. She wants you to sever all the ties to your ego's relationship. Okay? Sever all ties to your ego's relationship to a person or to an event in your life and see it again with a third eye, with the wisdom that can perceive the deeper spiritual path beneath the human drama. This red female Buddha is the power we all have in every moment to take a seemingly everyday event or annoyance or unfortunate occurrence and use it for our own enlightenment. She reminds us that everything is rich material for us to use to elevate our reality as an embodied soul. So the question for you today, my friends, is can I see the lesson in the chaos? Okay. So yes. Time to step up, my friends. All right. So that's what I have for the career. So now we're going to move on to relationships. So what past event is causing a lack of self-confidence within the collective when it comes to romance, love, and relationships? Okay, so there's severe abandonment issues, not feeling understood when it comes to your own belief systems, or not feeling, the need to speak out about because most of us have this deep sense of wisdom, or, this Atlantis card came out in the career deck, or in the career spread too. And it's like, with the Atlantis card, they were so smart, and they had like this deeper understanding of the universe and magic and all these things that aren't really accepted or understood in a 3D concept. So when you have these deep spiritual beings that are waking up across the board, you want someone to understand you. You want someone to hold that space for you to be able to express your beliefs and your experiences. But due to being abandoned or not getting the proper love and support from your family or from past relationships, it always felt like love was a battlefield. Like anyone that you got attached to were ultimately, not being able to show up for you the way that you needed them to make you feel secure in your life. Okay. So it led you to a lot of karmic relationships because you have this distorted image about anyone that loves you is going to leave, right? So, and if anyone really knew what you knew, then they're going to think that you're crazy and they're just going to get off in their ship and sail across the sea. Some of you might even be really attracted to water signs, or you may be a water sign. Maybe you love being around water, okay? But this is all about forgiveness for you, forgiving those that have made you feel like, even if, okay, and again, how many of us have been so out of alignment that even when we're surrounded by people, we still feel alone? Right? And it's like we're bathing in our loneliness. We're bathing in our pity for our life and the things that we have done or haven't done and all these things. And yet when love comes knocking on our door, we usually have this fear of having one foot in and one foot out, right? We're scared to trust love. And listen, been there, done that, completely understand, right? But this is giving you the chance to forgive those who, and it's not that they didn't love you, right? Like let's get that myth right out the table, off the table, okay? It's not that they don't love you. It's that they have a lack of self-confidence within themselves to not be able to show up. And another thing, listen, guys, you can't this is another thing that's been coming up. So many of us have such a lack of self-confidence when it comes to love in general that we tend to want someone to validate us, or even if someone is, coming in that like feels good, but isn't necessarily a good fit, right? Especially for long term. Then we get all upset and we start like, well, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with them? And we start pointing fingers, at everyone. Okay. And it causes this distortion and separation within our relationships that doesn't really help us see the bigger picture. Because if you're looking for a lifelong partner or someone that is going to be a healthy contribution to your life, then it's like you can't force, especially those who are on a soulmate or twin flame journey. It's like you can't force someone who is either not at the energetic vibration match for you, or the fact that we have been chasing karmic relationships and trying to make them fit into our life because we want them so damn bad, even though we know they're not healthy for us, right? So it's like breaking all these belief systems about love, about abandonment, about love being dramatic or hard or conflict or whatever the case may be. And some of you might even have just turned love off and decided to focus on your spirituality, and that's fine too. Whatever your process is. But what we're asking you is to not shut down completely. A lot of you, if you find yourself like kind of hunched over, your shoulders in, you're actually blocking your heart space. So do some yoga moves to help broaden the shoulder space, open up the chest area. But we don't realize how much we're actually blocking love from coming in. And no matter what that love looks like, it can be from your family, it can be from your siblings or partners, whatever the case may be. But this is one of those things where we end up like, if something that we love does not work out, and we end up having to leave or distance or cut off, whatever the case may be, then we go through that process of questioning ourselves or whatever, instead of looking at it of you can't, okay, like you can't force yourself to be the right person for the wrong person, right? It should be an energetic match, and it just being able to be in each other's company and work through stuff and have that transparency and that trust within yourself and within your partner, but still being able to have your independence and not be so codependent that you're striving to be something that you're not, and stressing if you don't do all these things that they're going to leave, right? Then you start creating this storyline. Well, if I'm not the perfect housekeeper, if I'm not the perfect cook, or if I'm not the perfect mom, they're going to get bored, they're going to leave, or as a man, if I don't have the best paying job or the nicest car or the nicest house or the fattest bank account, they're not going to love me. They're going to leave, blah, blah, blah. Like, all these things are illusions that are creating separation in your relationships, right? Because there's chaos going on inside. When you're looking at love and perceiving love, it makes you scared. Okay. So spouse is on the bottom. So, all right, guys. So let's get a storyline and see what is going on. What can you tell me in regards to the collective that are having a lack of self-confidence in their love life, or when it comes to love? So we have the Five of Cups, and it's sideways. So it's like you kind of, there's this teeter-totter of feeling like wallowing in your own shit, like yeah, okay. So I can kind of see how this is progressing, especially with the storyline we've already gotten. But it's like, when something isn't satisfying for you, when it's not that soul inspiring love, and it's just like, oh, it's there, it's comfortable, it's familiar, whatever. Or it can be completely detrimental to your health and your well-being, and you keep kind of going teeter-totter. But it's not until you realize that even if it takes a lot to walk away from these situations and understand that whether, this person has left or you were the one to leave, that there was a sense of self-denial. There is a sense of, deception involved, and whether that's you deceiving yourself or someone deceiving you. You could have even kept tabs on this person even after it was well and done on social media or whatever the case may be, because you still want to know what's going on in their life, but you were too scared to speak up. Maybe some of you could have even tried, had a cheater on your hands and was constantly looking at their stuff or spying on them to make sure that, you caught them, right? And no matter what, even if you didn't find, information that was like solid evidence for you to be able to leave this situation, spirit made you leave anyway. Right? It was like, regardless of what information you had, you're being pushed out the situation because it's too traumatic to your energy to stay in a situation that is not best for your well-being. And it's like grieving the death of this relationship, regardless of what the outcome was. So there's a lot of hurt and there's a lot of pain still attached to some of these situations that need to be dealt with. Right. So if this kind of sounds like your storyline from your past, this could be something that you haven't fully healed from. But it's like also about kind of going back and forth. And maybe this is why, you're still at battle with yourself and still kind of resistant towards love, because you're still going through that healing process of still processing your past in order to be able to accept a true, like, committed relationship. Or you could be, still living in that, right? And like still dwelling on, what could I have done differently? Why didn't this work out? I thought they loved me, or whatever the case may be. And there's still a lot of this pain attached to it. So let's get another storyline, because I feel like there's another storyline here. Yeah, so some of you have definitely been betrayed. A lot of you have been abandoned. So whether that comes from your parents or past relationships. Yeah, and it's like when this betrayal that you have felt in the past, you kind of question anything that feels too good for you, right? There's like a lingering doubt, especially with everything that you've been through. It's like some of you are just even too tired to think about moving into a new relationship. You want to. I feel like this certain group that I'm picking up on, there's a part of you that is ready to, start dating again, or, to give it a chance, but you're still tired from your past, and that betrayal is still kind of lingering there. So it's hard for you to trust anything that might seem too good for you, because you've already been through so much. You've already carried so much burden, and it's taking a lot of strength to be able to start over again. So yeah, but I also feel that if someone does come in with a tangible offer, you're kind of looking forward to this in the future. But there's still a lot of fear attached to it. Okay. So some of you might even be dreaming of your exes. Okay. There's definitely a new beginning, and I feel like this energy, if like some of your exes are coming back from the past or whatever. Water Baby said it so good the other day. She was like, a lot of these timelines that are, you think you've dealt with something and yet it comes back up. It's like we have different timeline paths, and I never thought about it like this, but it's freaking brilliant and it makes so much sense. But the path that we chose, right, we might have already processed the pain and the everything that happened with our relationships, but there are other parts of ourselves that chose a different path, where the timelines didn't necessarily make the same decision. So now they're coming back up and kind of like rehashing themselves, to catch up with where you are now, which makes total sense to me. Don't know if it makes sense to y'all, but if y'all haven't watched that video, y'all should. It's pretty interesting. But I do feel like there's still this fear about player mentality and people not taking dating seriously, or relationships seriously, and that you're still afraid that you're going to attract these kind of people. So that's probably why a lot of you are just staying alone. But it's like there's this want for a new beginning, for a new process, even if your conscious mind is like, bitch, remember what happened last time? But in the same sense, you're manifesting this because your heart is ready to open again. Your heart is ready to express and to feel and connect. This is what I'm feeling a lot within the collective. But there's also this fear about moving forward too fast, in case someone is still playing into that player mentality or a 3D egoic energy. Okay, so let's see, what is the lesson here for those that are looking at love? Seek the lesson again and see the truth. Okay. So again, whether it be good or bad, see the lesson in the chaos, my friends. Okay. And I'm losing stuff. Oh, it's right there. All right, so 39. So do not be deceived. Be watchful and mindful of the illusions others weave around themselves, and that you may weave around yourself. Know the night, understand the shadows, see through the darkness to the light of the truth. Pay attention to contradictions. Notice when actions and words are not in harmony. Hone your intuition and insight so that you may know the minds and hearts of those around you and yourself, and trust in the wisdom born of that awareness. Okay, so that is your lesson. And that's the thing, don't rush it, guys. Like, be open, but if something doesn't work out, then obviously it wasn't meant for you. So just keep going, enjoy your life, enjoy the experiences that you have. So what reminder would you like to give those that are having a lack of self-confidence when it comes to love? Okay. And we have Rita of Siska, the patroness of impossible causes. I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibility. So rewrite your storyline, people. The princess of mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. And the pointiff of possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. I want to read that one. All right, so Pope Joan. Wording. Okay. So we can so easily get caught beneath the glass ceiling of what we think is possible. But the truth is that everything is possible. It's hard for us to imagine just how much the divine wants for our lives, much more than we could ever hope for. Pope Joan reminds us that even if we think that what we want isn't possible, it is. Or even better, there is something our soul wants for us that will give us more than we can think to ask for. Pope Joan is a sign to trust in what you believe about yourself. Trust what's within you. Don't rely on what you see around you. Have faith. Know that the circumstances you are currently in are transformed from within. Begin to believe in a vision of yourself. Cultivate the capacity to see it, to really imagine it with all of your senses, and you will live into the day when it exists as reality that now surrounds you. Pope Joan's right hand is held in the papal blessing, a Christian mudra of benediction. The two fingers that point downward represent Christ's dual nature as both fully human and fully divine. The human ego is limited and lives beneath the glass ceiling. Joan demonstrates to us that for the soul, the glass ceiling doesn't even exist. Trust in what the soul knows is possible for you. That is what Joan's wry smile reminds us. And so this is a question you can ask yourself. What helps me remember all things are still possible for me? Okay. So, especially when it comes to your love life, and Danny and I have done this too. It's like, envisioning your future and seeing it, experiencing as if it's already here. Like, what kind of person are you looking to spend your life with? And that's going to help you be the best version of yourself. And what does that look like, right? And it's going to look different for everyone. So, yes, you're welcome, Ellie. So, all right. So that's love life. Let's move into what was the last one? I think we were doing. So we did career, mission, love life, and okay. Well, we're just gonna see. We're gonna see because I think they took it from me. So, what past experience is blocking my tribe? Ugh. That Atlantis card has come out on every single one, y'all. All right, so we have mother, scribe, or writer. That's another one that's come out. Greco-Roman, Atlantis, baby, food hunger. That's come out. Health, imprisonment, or slavery. Okay, so what this tells me is that some of you still have issues, you know, and listen, it doesn't matter what your relationship is with your mother. You know, I have a great relationship with mine, but when I started doing my work, I realized that there were certain belief systems that I had picked up that weren't necessarily in alignment, that stemmed from her. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Listen, we're all just trying to do the best we can with what we have, right? So, whether you have a good relationship with your mother or you don't, there are still certain things that, you know, even if they're just overprotective and never wanted you to see how hungry that, or, you know, how much y'all struggled maybe as a single mother, those kind of things. So no matter what your relationship is with your mother, there are definitely things that are still stemming from when you were a child, right? And I feel like a lot of this has to do with, you know, the struggles as y'all were growing up, or, you know, again, like a lack of financial stability, or, you know, having to choose between too many things and not having enough for everything, right? Like you had to be kind of picky and choosy when it came to, again, remember I was saying between the prescriptions or food or whatever the case may be. Maybe some of you even have parents that, whether your father or your mother was, you know, imprisoned, or, you know, was in jail or something like that. Or maybe they were just trapped in their own mind. Maybe they had a lot of health issues when you were younger, that, or you had a lot of health issues when you were younger that made you feel like you were trapped, right? These kind of things. So take all that into consideration. But there's definitely something when it comes to the scribe or writer. Either you need to, hey Maris, how are you? So it's like with the scribe or writer, you either need to kind of rehash some of this stuff in your journal, or, you know, this is something that you have, your writing capabilities actually stem from your mother and her experiences. So, you know, maybe she was a writer, maybe she journaled a lot, and this was something that's been kind of picked up. Now, especially with the Greco-Roman times, this could also be some past life in the Atlantis. These could be some past life energies. So for those of you who feel like you and your mother or mother figure have been, you know, have known each other for more than one life, right? Like I say all the time, I feel like me and my mom were sisters in a former life, because there's no one that I know of that has the relationship we do. We're more like sisters, we're more like friends than we are mother and daughter. You know what I'm saying? But some of you might have these past life relationships where you and your family members have chosen again and again to kind of come into these lives to really start breaking down these karmic cycles in order to learn more about what unconditional love is, and how to have that forgiveness for self and your parents, no matter what their relationship to you was in a former life. But I do feel like both of you have like this deep sense of wisdom. So even if your mother struggled with mental health issues, or just seem to not have like a good grip on reality. I feel like some of you have mothers that had dementia or Alzheimer's, like some sort of mental incapacity where they weren't quite here nor there. And so it made it hard on your reality growing up because you didn't know any better, right? So some of you could feel like your mother was just like, she was physically there, but just not really there. And so this could be a good inspiration for you to write through your own emotions or your process or your experiences to help you deal with the pain. But it can also help you get the story out so that if other people, which more than likely other people have the same experiences, your story might need to be heard in order to help other people start that process of healing and awareness too. Now, with that being said, especially with the food and hunger and health with the imprisonment or slavery, some of you might just have had such an overbearing mother that like kind of kept you in a box, didn't let you be free, and tried to keep you safe as much as possible, but didn't really feed your soul and your creativity. And it really, it was almost like unintentionally siphoning your energy. So some of you could have been really sick as a child, had a lot of allergies, a lot of mental, health issues, these kind of things, because they were literally trapping your growth. That's wild. Never knew that. But these are things, especially with the Atlantis card coming out again, like there's a lot of old souls that are very smart and meant to be creative in their endeavors, and this energy just feels like it's sucking the life out of it, right? It's trapping it. So let's see what else we have. Yeah, could have had a lot of conflicts or battles, especially when it came to making certain decisions. I feel like some of you could have some issues around your father figures. Okay, maybe they were gone a lot, they were working all the time, always worried about money, these kind of things, when as a child all you wanted was them to just want to be with you, right? Like you just wanted their company, you just wanted them to play with you, whatever the case may be. You just wanted to feel protected, you wanted to feel safe, yet they were never quite there to really be present with you, right? And so like it might have taken later in life for some of your father figures to really start putting in that like effort, like a stable effort to be consistent in your life. But it's like they just weren't there at that time. And maybe your parents fought a lot when you were younger. Maybe some of you are children of divorce and it really just put a sour taste in your mouth. I feel like, especially with some of the father figures that I'm picking up on, it's like they're always looking for the next best thing. Like they're always looking for the next thing to work on, or the next thing to create, or the next thing to grab a hold of that's that's going to bring more money in. They're constantly chasing pinnacles, right? So there's this unhealthy realization about what money really means to them. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's crazy, Kelly. But it's very possible. Very possible. So, I feel like it takes a lot of work, and this was probably one of the things that your parents fought a lot about, was about finances and, being able to spend quality time. But then it caused a lot of mental health issues, depression, anxiety, bipolar, dementia, all these things can come into play. but it also caused a lot of bitterness with the way that people communicated. So it's like there could be also a fear of communicating with people that you care about, because you don't want, a lot of you could be avoiding conflict, right? So especially when it comes to people you care about, you might over bypass certain things or make up excuses or just choose to slide by because you're scared of confrontation and conflict. So, but have confidence in the people that you choose to have in your life is basically what they're saying. Okay. You will know, don't dwell too much on, do I stay or do I go? Like, people either come, they go, or whatever. It doesn't matter how long they stay, because everyone has a role and a contract in our life. But if something is leaving you feeling depleted or misunderstood, or that it's not feeling inspiring or loving and safe and all these things, then, and that's why we got to know ourselves first, right? We can't put that on someone else. But when we know ourselves and we have that authority over our lives, we have that awareness over our lives, then we know that if someone comes in and it's not a vibrational match and it's not meant to be in our life, then we know that it's okay to let that go. We have that confidence to say, okay, well, I understand and I honor your space in my life, but now it's time to move on to something different. And not, like rattling our brains over all of this stuff, because it doesn't even matter, right? We shouldn't be holding on to things that create chaos in our lives and then wonder why our lives feel chaotic. Okay. So what is the lesson here? What is the lesson? Challenge your perception, show that you care, and let go of the old. So again, listen, if you spend so much time focusing on people, places, or things that do not want your help, that do not want your love, and all they do is resist you, you are taking your power, giving it to them, and you're taking your energy and your concentration away from things that really need you, that want you there, right? So challenge your perception about the situations that you find yourself in. When it comes to people in your lives that you care about, show them that you care. Speak up. Tell them what you're feeling, what you want, and let go of these past belief systems and all the fear tied to what you have experienced, because just because you've experienced before doesn't mean that you have to experience it again. Okay. So what's the reminder that you would like to give the collective here? Because you're beautiful the way you are. Okay. So yeah, guys, if this is something that you find you would like to dig more into and really get together with tribe and with the collective and have a 4-week class, I think it would be amazing to do together, and it's going to be something that we all do. So I really want to hold a class on this now that I'm doing it. So if you're interested in that, please email me. But again, we have the diamond-hearted Dakini. I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. So face those ego beliefs, all right? And the Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. I love that. 6. Okay. And look, she's holding the child here too. So for millennia, the body, the earth, and all forms of matter have been devalued and misunderstood. The dark has been so vilified, yet all life emerges from the pitch black womb. The darkness is potential. It's the crucial and elemental stage we must all go through to create new or more life. The Black Madonna is the emblem of deep wisdom, the profound consciousness that is inherent in all things. All living and created things are energy. The body has wisdom, the earth has wisdom, and the pain we experience as human contains deep wisdom. When we are in the fires of suffering, it can be difficult to trust that gold is being forged. It can be hard to trust when we are in terrific pain that there is a process at work that will make us more authentic, more alive, and infinitely freer. It can be almost impossible to accept or notice the presence of the divine when we are at our most human. The Black Madonna is the cauldron that holds us steadfastly as we endure the alchemy of integrating more soul into our existence. She is the promise that what doesn't survive the fires of suffering was never meant for us. And she is the presence that is there with us even when we feel most alone, reminding us that there is no darkness we can enter without being met by love. And the question here says, how is my solitude serving me? Wow. That's some powerful stuff, guys. So yeah, but if you're interested in taking this course with me, I will let y'all know when I'm thinking about doing this, but I just want to see how many people are actually interested. If you feel like any of these messages resonated with you and you're ready to take the next step to really process and look at the self-limiting beliefs in many, many areas of your life so that you can transform all of this, let's do it together, guys. Okay. So it'll probably take me at least a couple months to get all the, itinerary set up, but it will be a 4-week course. It's going to take us at least 4 weeks, and I'm thinking about doing it on Sundays. So it'll take me a while to get that all set up. But yeah, maybe May, would be a good time to do it. And, take at least an hour and a half on Sundays to, it'll be online. I want to try and get as many people on it. So that will be an online course that we will do with Zoom. So, okay, good. So yeah. So if you're interested in taking that class, then just email me and in the subject write self-confidence class, and I'll try to get as many people, see how many people we can get in on that, and I'll let you know when I get everything set up, and I'll start an email list. How about that? Okay. So yeah, guys, but if you like these messages, like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know how it resonates, and I love you all so much, and take care of yourself, okay? And if you need me for anything, you can email me at whispersofgrace1016@gmail.com. All my information is down below, and I wish y'all a very blessed day. Bye.